I call Ian McKelvey.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Somewhat unusual type of bill for me to be speaking on, but it is a bit of a pleasure to speak on. I will get to that. It is a pleasure to speak on the International Finance Agreement Amendment Bill, and I always find it quite interesting listening to the member for Epsom. He has a slightly different view of I guess, benefit in marketing than I do. But nonetheless, that's what happens in Epsom. I want to very briefly, Mr Speaker, talk about... I spent the week last week in Asia, interestingly, and I think it's hugely important for New Zealand that we maintain our reputation, and we have a great reputation in that part of the world, and it's increasing all the time. And so I think for us to be playing a role in a place that is very significant for us as a market, I think it's really important. So I'm very pleased to support the bill because I think it gives us a further opportunity to reinforce our presence in Asia. And I think on the matter that Kennedy Graham raised about the type of development that's taking place in Asia, I think we can be pretty sure that the modern infrastructure build in that part of the world is certainly more sustainable than some of the early infrastructure build that took place in that part of the world. And so I think that making a contribution to this is also going to assist the development to become much more sustainable in the future, which I think is really important. So I think from New Zealand's perspective, to be able to put money into a fund that is going to certainly help countries in Asia that we will definitely have trading relationships with in the future and at a much greater rate than we do now, is certainly very good use of New Zealand money. And I think that to suggest that New Zealand money shouldn't be invested in Asia and it's better used for New Zealand, this money certainly is being used for the benefit of New Zealanders, and I think it's a very appropriate use of it. So, Mr Speaker, I've got no problem supporting this bill. I think it's, and I think the whole idea behind it is very sensible for New Zealand. So I've got great pleasure supporting the bill, and thank you, Mr Speaker.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.